All right, welcome in, everybody. Hopefully, we're all having a great day. Hopefully, we're enjoying our free agency hot stove. Thus far, we've had nothing really going on, nothing substantial, but that doesn't mean anything. Right now, we are on Yamamoto watch, and I don't want to over dramatize it, but this is probably could be in New York Mets history one of the most important dates. This is the day where the Mets are constructing their offer to one of the best pitchers in like the last decade, literally. And I was talking about this with other great subscribers. When was the last time that a talent like this, pitching wise, was on the free agent market, especially at this young age? We came up with Pedro Martinez. That was almost 30 years ago. Greg Maddux in 1992. But there is a golden opportunity that lies in front of Steve Cohen, in front of David Stearns, in front of the New York Mets organization. And there's going to be a theme right now. In that Mets organization, there has to be a theme right now. And it is going to be no regrets. No regrets. Going forward, you know how much Yamamoto is going to mean to your team, your brand, your future, and that is so much more Yamamoto means to you than he does to other teams. So that has to equate into the dollar value. Now we're going to talk about a dollar value because as you see in the title, it is going to be an insane dollar value. Last night in our live stream, we spoke about him getting an offer. Could it be over 400 million? Is it going to be over 400 million? Well, I have an answer for you because I wanted to actually think about this. I wanted to put some numbers together, and I have a well thought out answer that we're going to go over very shortly. But to continue on, no regrets. Steve Cohen is a calculated billionaire. He is a calculated billionaire who has been successful in almost everything that he's done in life. The only thing he really hasn't been successful in recent years is win with the New York Mets. So he has David Stearns right now. He has a competent president, so there's no excuses anymore. He was always looking for a president. He was always looking for a front office. Check off the list. Obviously, I'm not happy with the move thus far. The season, off season right now, F minus. David Stearns and the Mets, in terms of getting the team better for 2024 and beyond, have an F minus. This whole offseason essentially hinges on the acquisition of Yamamoto. There's no doubt about it. There's no second plan. Yes, you could pivot to Montgomery. No, I mean, you can pivot to Snell. I wouldn't choose that way, but there are ways you can pivot. But they drop off a steep clip. So that has to go into the equation, and you have to do everything in your power to do everything that, to convince Yamamoto. You really do. And based on the fact of what I'm hearing, that Yamamoto was the one who requested the second meeting, told me or tells me that he's interested in going to the Mets, right? How interested? We don't know. That's what maybe Stevie and the front office, if they have an ability to sway him, to sell him, this is what they have to do in these next couple of days. Because, folks, we're getting a decision. The decision is going to come. If it doesn't come tomorrow, if it doesn't come Wednesday, it is most likely coming this week. All the experts in the industry are saying a decision is coming before Christmas. Christmas is next Monday. So most likely we're going to get a decision by Wednesday or Thursday. Now, offers. What are the offers on the table? Last night, we had rumors that there were multiple $300 million offers. That's kind of been disputed. But irregardless, today was the day where most teams formally are starting to submit their offers. So that being said, if you're Steve Cohen and the New York Mets, you have to be very, very calculated. You don't want to be used, but you also want to be able to submit the best offer. So today, like I said, they're going to be submitting offers, and that's That's the process. That's where we are in the process. We are at the end. There's no more scouting. There's no more determining if you want these guys. This is your plan A. You have to go on attack right now. So this is a very significant time right now in Mets history. And I just want to say hello to everybody right now in the chat. Yuki, Nancy, thank you so much for stopping by. I really appreciate you. Yuki, you're right. For $400 million, I would sign Bellinger for 200 and Snell for 200. That's interesting. Those right there, those are both risky players. Bellinger obviously had a good off last year. It's not bad. I mean, at least you're getting two players for the price of one. I could definitely see that thought process. But this video right now, we're gonna really go full force on Yamamoto, full force. And Yamamoto, in terms of his market, everybody says it. The guy is lucky. He's lucky. You have every damn big market team in on it. This is the first time you have the Yankees and Mets bidding on the same player. Of course, now you have the LA Dodgers, the Red Sox, the Phillies. They met with Yamamoto. Apparently, Bryce Harper FaceTimed Yamamoto. So Bryce Harper had a conversation with Yamamoto about coming to Philadelphia. So the competition out there for Yamamoto services is fierce. There's a lot of competition. So that it just means that Uncle Stevie and the New York Mets, they really have to distinguish themselves as the place to be and be that much better. I really hope Steve Cohen and whoever was pitching Yamamoto really conveyed and levied what is going on for the future, because Yamamoto wants to win. He wants to be a winner, and the Mets obviously have done nothing in recent history to show that they were winners. So if they were able to alleviate that question and put a feasible plan and say, hey, Yamamoto, we're going to give you $400 million, and it doesn't stop there. Next year, we're getting Soto. In 2026, this guy's coming up. Obviously, we got a couple guys in the farm system, but Yamamoto, the signing of Yamamoto will tell us a lot as fans what we need to know about the direction of our ball club. It is super, super important, I believe, for us to get Yamamoto, because if we don't get Yamamoto, and I've spoken about this, I believe that there is a plan B solution, but the plan B solution involves us really going in a different direction that I don't even want to talk about right now. Okay. Excuse me, one moment. I got things falling down. Hold on. Okay. Okay, so like I said, the theme of our video is no regrets, no regrets. So whatever offer the Mets make, and I suppose it's going to be the highest offer, because Andy Martino already conveyed to us, the fans, that Steve Cohen is willing to match any offer, So according to Andy, and I want to go to Andy's latest tweets today, because Andy has been really spot on the Yamamoto watch. I definitely give him credit for that. So Andy posted 2 hours ago, the Mets did make an initial offer prior to the Japan meeting, but not again at this weekend's dinner. Several teams are believed to have already made an offer after posting to show seriousness. These won't be final offers, but this could resolve this week. Okay, so that's a bit interesting. So Andy is saying the Mets actually made an offer a couple weeks ago before the Japan meeting, and other teams have made offers to show they're serious. So I believe, that's very significant. A couple weeks ago, Andy said that the Mets weren't anywhere on Yamamoto's list to be. Like, he didn't want to come to the Mets. He was thinking Yankees, he was thinking Dodgers, he was thinking other places. The Mets were all the way down here. So I guess at that time, since we weren't like a candidate that Yamamoto considered, we had to throw out an offer just to say, hey, Yamamoto, we're actually serious about you. And other teams, I guess, that were in the Mets situation where the Mets were a couple of weeks ago, they had to throw offers as well. But most importantly, the Mets have not thrown out an offer as late as this weekend. They have not thrown out an offer. So we're still waiting for that offer. And like I said, that's where I believe the Mets right now are constructing an offer, constructing something. The Dodgers were genius in the way they constructed the Ohtani offer. They were that much above everyone else. So the Mets and David Stern, I hope they are doing something similar, a contract that will sway and woo Yamamoto to sign with us, and also be structured in a creative way where it entices him to be in New York. Hey, what's up, Dominic? From you, you're right. Let's get it done. I completely agree. We got to get this done. This is one of the most significant days in Mets history because this could really, for the next decade, we could be going in a completely different direction. This guy is an ace's ace. I mean, I read you the scouting report last night on our live stream. Anybody who wants to check it out, this guy has nasty, otherworldly stuff. So, and he's only 25. So it is just absolutely absurd that we have the opportunity to sign a guy of this age and of this magnitude who has been this accomplished. Hi, Nancy. Thank you again so much. I really appreciate that. Okay. Oh, yeah. So, we're both from Queens. That's awesome. Like I mentioned in the past, I just moved to Florida. I was from Bayside, Queens. Okay. D, you're writing 500 million for 12 years. So, that, you know what? Let's fast forward. Let's fast forward. Okay. So this video, I was going to talk about if Yamamoto was going to reach the $400 million mark or not, right? Everybody's asking, is he going to make 400 million? In the beginning of the year, the projected contract for Yamamoto was, I believe, 7 years and $213 million. That's what an MLB insider predicted. I think it was just like 6 weeks ago. So it's just so phenomenal how the market just completely exploded. So do I think he's going to make over 400 million based on the market, which is there's no talent, and that the reason why Yamamoto's contract is getting crazy, it's because MLB recognizes behind Yamamoto there is nothing. Jordan Montgomery is a nice number 3 pitcher. He's got mediocre stuff. He doesn't have elite stuff. It's not really worth giving a guy a long contract and paying him $200 million to be mediocre. It's really not. I'd rather wait for the next guy or invest in an ace and just give him a good amount. And when you give a Yamamoto over $400 million, you got to remember, you're not only investing in what Yamamoto does on the field, you're investing in the brand. You're investing in the next 10 or 20 years. The reason why Yamamoto is hesitant about going to the Mets is because growing up, he saw players like Hideki Matsui and Tanaka on the Yankees. He didn't see players on the New York Mets. So if you invest in a guy like Yamamoto, now the next generation of Japanese or foreign players, they will see him with a Mets uniform on. This will expand your brand globally. Yamamoto is worth so much more money to Steve Cohen. It is not even funny. It is not even funny. A guy who wants to build up around Citi Field and build his brand, you need a global figure like Yamamoto. The Dodgers have already built their brand. The Yankees have already built their brand. The Red Sox have built their brand already. You have an opportunity right now to grab a global figure who is not even in the prime of his career. You need to get him if you're the New York Mets. You need to value him. He has to be more valuable to you than to anybody else. This is so super important for the Mets to get this right. And like I said, if the Mets don't get him, they're already at an F minus. I don't know how you get lower than an F minus for an offseason, but if they miss out on Yamamoto, I just really don't. I know there's a pivot plan. I know there's a plan B. I just don't even want to get there. Yeah, hey, what's up, Jimmy? You're in Western Florida. Yeah, I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure what that is, but I'm in like Central Florida, kind of like by Orlando. But yeah, so it is no doubt about it going to be well over 300 million. So for you to even get your name in the Yamamoto sweepstakes, you got to be willing to spend over 300 million. Most likely over 350 million. Could it get to 500 million like D said? Hey, Ohtani got to 700 million. Everybody was projecting that contract to be around 500, maybe 600 on a crazy day, but he got 700 million. So could I foresee a crazy contract of 500 million? I would lean on the side of no, but you know, like I said, I wouldn't have thought that Ohtani would have gotten 700 million. I think that a little over 400 million is going to get it done. I think maybe 410 million is going to get it done, which is going to be insane because if you think about it, a guy who hasn't pitched in the MLB is going to have the biggest contract in baseball. Biggest contract in baseball. And that really goes to show a larger problem. These pitchers right now, they're starting at a lot later age. 20, 30 years ago, pitchers would come up at an age 19 or 20. Now pitchers are getting to the major leagues at age 23, 24. By the time they get to 30, 31, they don't have much juice left in their arm. So that goes to a bigger problem that we have with the MLB. But nonetheless, we have a golden opportunity to scalp one of the best players in Japan. And I think there's no doubt that we have to do everything in our power to do it. Yeah, Mr. Classic, in terms of the 500 million, it's really hard to see a pitcher getting 500 million because, these guys, they throw the ball so hard. Like Yamamoto, for anybody who doesn't know, this guy, he could touch 99 miles per hour, which he's throwing the ball very, very hard. And he's susceptible to getting injured. So for you to invest that much money in a commodity who could just at any time blow out his shoulder and then you're paying him $500 million, that's why Garrett Cole, the recent highest paid pitcher, got 336. It's just teams are hesitant to give pitchers that much money. But the reason why I think Steve Cohen should take a chance on Yamamoto is you're not only investing on his pitching on the field stuff, you're investing more in your brand. You're investing in what he can do for you off the field. So that's why it's so much more valuable, I believe, to Steve Cohen than he is to other teams. Hey, what's up, Robert? How am I feeling today? Honestly, I'm feeling a bit stressed because I want Yamamoto, and to me, it's so important for the Mets to get Yamamoto. In the bottom of my stomach, I just feel that option B is not a good viable option. And the reason why, I'll tell you why option B is not a good option. And it should be so obvious that option B is not a good option. If option B was a good option, there wouldn't be that big of a demand for Yamamoto. The reason why everybody and their mother wants Yamamoto is because there's no damn plan that is reasonable behind him. There is no other good, decent pitcher. Yeah, Jordan Montgomery, Blake Snell. Blake Snell, like, I'm just really amazed. Nobody wants Blake Snell. I'm pretty sure he'll get a $200 million contract, but everybody's focused on Yamamoto. The Dodgers, they traded for Glass now. But Blake Snell, I wouldn't touch him. And it just seems like most organizations are leaning on that side where they don't want to touch the guy. Hey, what's up, Alonzo? Let's go Dodgers. I got to give it to you guys. And most of us Met fans here, when an organization does a good job, they take a chance, they make their fans happy. That was a really good, to me, a solid pickup with Otani, more than a solid pickup. He's going to do great for you guys on and off the field. Otani was way more than on the field presence. I mean, like I say, kids now, they're going to grow up in Japan. They're going to grow up overseas, and they're going to see Otani hit a home run with a Dodgers jersey on. And that's why I want Yamamoto and the Mets to go in some type of partnership, because I want the next generation to be Met fans. Yeah, Yuki. Okay, yeah, you bring up a good point. I used to have a flag back here when I was in New York. I lived in a very small apartment, and the flag used to always fall down. But yeah, those were fun times. When the flag fell, usually that's when the video was over. Luckily, since I own this house, I can put holes in the wall. In the past, I couldn't put any holes in the wall, so everything I would hang up would fall down by the end of the video. Oh man, Alonzo, thank you so much. I really do appreciate that. And you know what? I love good baseball, and I love teams that I love franchises. I love people who do it the right way. That's why I envy a team even like the Braves. The way they're able to construct their roster and somehow get their homegrown players to sign for like almost nothing. I don't know how they do it, but the bottom line, they get their players to buy into a culture of winning. And that's what I'm trying. I'm hoping the Mets, the New York Mets, would emulate. We have to develop our culture first. David Stearns is the president right now. Building around a guy like Yamamoto, a guy like Senga, those two guys at the top of your rotation. From everything I've heard, Senga's a great clubhouse guy. I'm pretty sure Yamamoto is a good clubhouse guy too as well. He's got 3 Cy Young or MVP award wins in Japan. So he has a lot of credibility, a lot of talent. The guys on our team or pitchers coming up, at least they get to learn from these elite pitchers. That's what we also have to do. We have to do a lot better job at developing our young talent, and our young talent can learn from these aces. We have guys in the minors like Blade Tidwell, Mike Vassell, Christian Scott. Hopefully these guys by next year could fill up a rotation spot so that we don't have to spend $50 million on a pitcher. But let's look at this. Let's assume that the Mets pull off a miracle and we sign Yamamoto. So you pencil in Yamamoto as your ace. Number 2, you're probably going to go with Senga. Number 3, you're probably going to go with Quintana. I mean, we don't have anybody else. Number 4, you don't really have a number 4 guy. And then you got Severino. Obviously, you have McGill and you have Peterson. But even if you were to get a Yamamoto, you still need another pitcher. And I think you need another pitcher of a caliber of a number 3. And if you're going to pay Yamamoto all that money, that's what excites me, because that means we're going over the luxury tax and all bets are off. All bets are off. So that means we're going to probably be willing to spend a bit more money than we would if we don't get a Yamamoto. Yes, D. Betts and Freeman are phenomenal. I mean, Mookie Betts. I mean, right now, if Mookie Betts retired today, it seemed like the guy would be a Hall of Famer. I was looking at something the other day. Even obviously Mike Trout's those are the 2 guys, 2 young guys that if they retired today, they would be Hall of Famers. Betts, his overall career wins above replacement is 64.5. But a guy like Betts, a guy like Acuna, we don't have these guys that we could build around. We don't have superstars. We don't. In my opinion, we don't have that type of superstar. Pete Alonso, he's a home run hitter, but he's not a superstar. In my opinion, he's not a superstar. I love him because he's a homegrown Met, but he's not a superstar. Francisco Lindor, In terms of being a superstar, I would have him a bit higher than Pete Alonso, but I want that Mookie Betts. I want that Mike Trout. I want that elite pitcher. And hopefully Yamamoto will check off the list as being that elite pitcher, that superstar pitcher that we have. Yeah, Robert. You feel bad for Mike Trout. I mean, the good thing is the guy has made a lot of money. Obviously he's had a lot of back issues, so it doesn't seem like the second half of his career is going to be anywhere close to the first half of his career. I guess you never know how a guy deals with injury, but it doesn't look like we're going to see the Mike Trout that we're used to seeing. Patrick, I like that. Lindor is 100% a superstar. He's the best defensive shortstop in MLB, and he's right under Seager. You know what? Maybe I'm a little harder on my guys because I want to acquire more. But I could see where you could consider him a superstar. In the last 2 years, Lindor was in the top 10 in MVP. He finished ninth last year. He finished ninth this year. He won a Silver Slugger this year. He should have been an All-Star over the guy Arcia on the Braves. But I could definitely see how you consider Lindor a superstar. I just don't. He's obviously not at the level of a Betts. I'm just looking. Maybe I'm looking for a top 3 or top 5 player in the game. I just want to check the latest. Okay, home. Okay, so I'm not sure what everybody's heard, but the highest offer, anybody who's watched MLB TV today, I believe Harold Reynolds said that he's heard the highest offer that was supposedly offered to Yamamoto was $375 million. That was the highest offer that he's heard thus far. I don't know who the offer was from, but that was from Harold Reynolds. He said it today on MLB TV that the highest offer for Yamamoto is $375 million. That's why, clearly it seems like this is going to go over $400 million if all this information is true and accurate. What's up, Tim? How's it going? Everything over here is we're just hinging on Yamamoto. We're all on the Yamamoto watch. I'm going to be a lot better if we get Yamamoto. If we don't get Yamamoto, it feels like we're going to be screwed. It really does. Yuki, is Orioles catcher Adley Rutschman a superstar? I don't think he's not a superstar. And here's the thing: like rookies and guys who are in the second year or third year, you gotta do it for a consistent basis. You got to really do it year after year after year to develop yourself into a superstar. I mean, that's the way I see it. I mean, Fernando Tatis Jr., when he came into the league a couple years ago, everybody's like, he's a superstar. But, then he was accused of doing steroids. And now, he's a nice player, but I don't think he's a superstar. There's very few players in the game that are superstars. Yeah, that's what it's got to be like, D. It seems like the Mets got a 50% chance. And this is just a feeling I have for some reason, for some crazy reason. I think that it's coming down between the Mets and the Dodgers, the Mets and the Dodgers. I know the Yankees, obviously, I hear things about him wearing a Yankee hat when he was in high school and he grew up with the Yankees. For some odd reason, I just don't see the Yankees going to $400 million. I see them saying, okay, you know what? We're going to offer you 9 years. And I heard a rumor I forgot exactly where I saw it. It was around $330 million. If I had more confidence that the Yankees okay, let me put it this way. If George Steinbrenner owned the Yankees, I would say there's no doubt about it that he would end up in the Bronx. But just by the fact that I feel that Hal Steinbrenner and the way Brian Cashman runs the Yankees these days, I feel that you're going to have to make a crazy, insane offer to be able to acquire the services of Yamamoto. Do I find that the Yankees these days are going to be able to make that offer, knowing that they have all these crazy contracts on the books? You Judge, Stanton, Cole, they're going to have to sign Soto next year. I mean, they got a bunch of substantial contracts. So I think the Dodgers and the Mets could bid this thing up to an insane level where the Yankees would force themselves to bow out. So that's why I think right now, I surmise it's going to be down to the Mets and the Dodgers. And also, too, the Dodgers, I feel, value these players as helping their brand. The Yankees know they're like, we are the Yankees. Our brand's already worldwide. We're already well known. We don't need any player to improve our brand. The Mets need that. They need a global superstar to come in and wear their team's uniform to improve their brand. Yankees don't need that. So why should the Yankees pay extra money? And thus why I feel they're not going to pay. They already have Garrett Cole. They have some other young pitchers. They have Nestor Cortez. They're not in the same shape that the Mets are in. There's not going to be that desperation offer. Exactly, Patrick. I think that's what it is. If Yamamoto wants to go to the Yankees, right? Because that's the team he wants to go to, I think he'll go to the Yankees. But I find these guys often go to the teams that offer them the most money. And if the Dodgers and the Mets are going to make an insane offer, like the Dodgers, they made an insane offer to Shohei Ohtani. Shohei Ohtani didn't even get an opportunity to think about other offers. Even if the Toronto Blue Jays offered him $600 million, and I'm not even sure if that's accurate, but even if they did, the Dodgers offered him a $700 million, which is substantially more. Plus, Ohtani knows the Dodgers have the ability to attract future free agents. That's significant. If you go to a team, let's say you sign with the Royals or you sign with, a team that gives you the most money, but you go to a market that doesn't have the ability to, number one, pay another free agent, or number two, attract a free agent. With the Mets, the good thing about them is they could pay you an insane amount. They're in New York City. They can attract future free agents. And number three, they have an ungodly amount of money. Yeah, Robert, Ohtani, Betts, Freeman, big three. So Ohtani, Betts, Freeman. So for the Mets, if you looked at a big three, and that's, if you got Yamamoto, it would be Yamamoto, obviously Alonso and Lindor. I think right now, if you don't have anybody else, that third guy would probably be up in the air, but I would fight for my guy Nimmo because I love what Nimmo does. And next year, that third guy on the Mets should be Francisco Alvarez, because I predict a breakout year for this kid. Last year, Francisco Alvarez, the only problem with him is he got tired. Robbie, hey, what's going on, man? Who put in an offer of $400 million for 12 years? Was that the Dodgers or the Mets? The Mets. Was that report? Because I was trying to find that. Was that officially reported anywhere? Okay, it's unsubstantiated. Yeah, I heard rumors. I was trying to find a substantiated offer, but this is okay. I don't know what people's. Okay, yeah, no, I gotta, for me to say that the Mets made a legit offer, I'm waiting to see like a publication, like an Andy Martino saying the Mets just made an offer, or somebody of significance. Yeah, so and I don't even mind if the Mets do something like the Dodgers did and want to set up, a deferred contract. If that's something what they want to do, if they feel, hey, we can offer you 420 million, but we'll defer half of the contract. I don't mind. I don't mind that as long as you do something. In fact, I would encourage that. Do something to entice the guy to come to the New York Mets. Give him the most money. And if you defer the payments, at least it won't hurt your yearly your cap hit. Yeah, and that's been the most common thing. So we've heard that a lot of teams, whether they give him 300 or 400 million, they're giving him a 10-year contract and they give him an opt out after 5, which I think that if you're going to give Yamamoto an opt out after 5, that is extremely attractive because if the guy's 25 right now, he's going to be 30. He's going to be 30 years old, the same age as most of our pitching free agents these days. He's going to be younger than Snell. He's going to be younger than Jordan Montgomery, and he'll have made 5 years. Hey, what's up, Carl? Yeah, you're right. Mets are being very quiet, so they won't be used for leverage. I think that's very significant. Plus, the Mets said that, hey, you come to us with your best offer, and we'll match it. So, that's why I was surprised. I wasn't even sure if the Mets were going to make an offer because I was assuming, based on what I heard from Andy Martino, based on what he reported, I thought the Mets offer was going to be the best offer plus some. So, from what I understood, if the best offer was 400 million, Steve Cohen already assured Yamamoto that we're going to match that plus a bit more. Yeah, Patrick. Yeah, the Mets have been very quiet, and then also too, if you really look at this quietly, the Mets have literally built this whole offseason around Yamamoto. They really have. They've done nothing of substance. Obviously, they haven't acquired any pitchers, but that being said, none of the other pitchers in the free agent market have signed. They're waiting for Yamamoto to sign. But this whole free agency season hinges on Yamamoto being a Met. I tell you, it will be insane if we don't get Yamamoto. It'll be honestly, it'll be really painful. If we don't get Yamamoto, it'll be extremely painful because I'm looking forward to the day where we can pencil in Yamamoto as the ace of a rotation, and then filling out the rest of our roster will be a lot easier. And if you remember a couple years ago, um, forgot which year. I think it was the year they signed Max Scherzer. They said that they had an offer out for Kevin Gausman and Scherzer. I think it was that year, but it was a year where they literally had two offers for like two mega pitch, mega free agent pitchers in that respective free agency. So I wouldn't be surprised if they go after Imanaga right after Yamamoto, and their top three is Imanaga, Senga, and Yamamoto. I mean, that would be a very interesting roster. Folks, stick around. Give me 1 minute. I'll be right back. Perfect. All right, so let's see what's going on. I don't understand one thing. Like, what is going on this year about everything in the years past used to come out about like free agent. They're going to sign. They're sitting with this team. They're sitting with that team. This year, it's been so damn secretive. I know Otani, requested it being secretive, but all the reporters are getting stuff wrong. The stuff about John Morosi and the flight stuff. I don't understand. I just don't understand this offseason why it's so difficult to figure out where these players are going, who's meeting with who. It's so cryptic. Oh wow! Thank you so much, CeeLo, for the $5. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Very, very kind of you. Hopefully, we get Yamamoto. I mean, I'm just I don't know about everybody. Like last night, we had a live. We were up until I was up up until 4 o'clock in the morning. We were doing a live stream at 3:15, trying to figure out what is going on in the world of Yamamoto. But these are the these are the days. These next 2 days, like I started off the video, it's gonna have to be no regrets. The Mets can't leave anything on the table if they intend on competing next year and beyond. They're going to need an ace, knowing that they have no farm system that has any pitchers ready to step up within the next year or two. I think you got to consider that. You got to factor that in the offer. Knowing that the Mets don't have a global brand, you have to factor that in the offer. Knowing that this is going to just naturally help your marketing, help your ticket sales, help you in that respect. That's got to go into your offer. So, this has got to be something that the Mets don't lose out on. Patrick, let me. I just want to read what you wrote. One thing I've noticed is how a lot of casual Met fans have been exposed after these smaller minor league signings we've done. These depth signings are so crucial. Now, in one respect, you're absolutely right, right? If the guys that they've signed, are they well-known guys? No, they're not. They're not named guys. Are they guys that once the season, you need to go through a lot of arms. Guys get hurt, and if they go to the pitching lab and they can tweak a couple of things, apparently we picked up some guys with some decent talent. But I really can understand from an aspect, if you're looking for talent, guys who have done it and been productive, we haven't really signed any name guys that could appease a fan right now. A fan is short for fanatic. We're fanatical right now. We want the big fish. To the guy analyzing stats and trying to figure out, oh, this guy, he has this type of slider who could be developed, or his fastball velo is, high and his exit velocity is soft and he misses barrels. Yeah, maybe analytical wise, you have picked up some talent, but we're fanatical. We're hungry for moves that can impact the team now and that are tangible. So, I understand that aspect of it, but I'm a bit impatient myself. So, yes, I'm happy David Stearns has took care of the depth moves first, but I want to make sure that we improve our team dramatically, not incrementally, dramatically, because we won 70 something games last year. We didn't win 100 games last year. We won only 70 something games. Very true, Patrick. Right on, right on, right on. Robbie, scouting. One great pitcher is not enough. Scouting is so crucial for development. Absolutely. We need more than one great player. We need to keep building, just like the Dodgers are trying to add on. They got Glass now. They got Walker Buehler. They got a couple really good young pitchers, and they want Yamamoto. The Yankees, they already have Garrett Cole. They have Nestor Cortez. They got a couple good players as well in the pitching. We need to develop, and we need multiple guys as well. All we have is Kodai Senga right now. All we have is Kodai Senga. You know, there's not another guy. Like a couple of years ago, I would have said, oh, David Peterson might develop into something, or Tyler McGill, give him a chance. But we've given these guys chances and chances, and it just seems like they haven't really panned out the way that I would have hoped they have. Now, I really wonder what the heck happened at the dinner. Like, what do they talk about? What does Steve Cohen talk about with Yamamoto? Does he talk about? I don't think he specifically didn't talk about numbers or money. Does he talk about, you know, what we're going to do specifically with the team? Does he talk about how we're building the brand? Does he talk about how you're going to be the centerpiece of the brand? Because that's what I kind of surmise. I kind of surmise that Steve Cohen has all these people around him telling him, you know what? We're building a brand. It starts with you. And that's why I think that we have something in New York that is appealing to a guy like Yamamoto. If he goes to the Yankees, if he goes to the Dodgers, he's going to be one of many. He's going to go to a place where they've won. They've won without him. The Yankees won 27 championships in their history. I believe at 27. The Dodgers, they won in 2020. The Mets, if he wins with the Mets, he will be the clear difference maker. He will be the guy that we build around, especially on the pitching side of it. So I believe as a star, as a guy with an ego, that is attractive. That really is. Everybody's saying he wants to play alongside of the side of Bet. He wants to play alongside of Ohtani. But not every guy wants to join a superstar. A super core team. Not every player is a LeBron James. Not every player wants to go to a team that already has an established core. You know, you've seen that in the NBA when, you know, LeBron James went to go join the Heat, when Kevin Durant went to go join the Warriors. But there are a lot of players who are individuals who want to go to a spot where they are the sole superstar. And he's going to be able to be a star. Yes, there's stars around him like Lindor, we've spoken about, and Pete Alonso, but they don't have the gravitas that a Shohei Ohtani and an Aaron Judge and a Mookie Betts carry. So if he can win with those guys alongside of him, it makes him look like the centerpiece. If he wins in the Dodgers, he's always going to be in Ohtani's shadow. He's always going to be in Ohtani's shadow. Now, would he mind? We don't know. But if he goes to the New York Mets, and I think this, like we were talked about, there's about a 50% chance that he signs with the New York Mets. Playing in Ohtani's shadow may be something that he doesn't want to do. It may be. It's always for the next decade. He will be linked to Ohtani, but he will always be behind Ohtani. It will be Ohtani's Dodgers, and then Yamamoto pitches on the Dodgers. If he goes to the New York Mets, it'll be Yamamoto's New York Mets. So that is the complete difference between the Dodgers and the Mets. Same could be said with the Yankees. I mean, you already have an ace. You already have a Garrett Cole. You already have an Aaron Judge. You already have a Juan Soto. So, that I find is ultra appealing for Yamamoto if he chooses to come over to Queens. And everybody, I just want to take 1 second, really quick. I know, like, we're very interested in what the heck is going on with our players, but I just want to like thank everybody for stopping by. I really appreciate it. I was looking forward to this stream, and for hanging out with you guys. If you could, just hit the like button. Kind of helps out the stream a lot. I really appreciate it. Yuki, should the New York Mets change the name to the Nippon Mets? You know what? I know we're being silly here, but that's symbolic of you do whatever it takes to sign the guy. Short of that, short of changing the name. But that's an example. Whatever he wants, if you're gonna make this contract unique or do something unique, you need to do whatever it takes to seal the deal. If he wants to take Yamamoto to his hedge funds and teach the guy how to invest, teach him how to make $1 billion, whatever Steve Cohen needs to do to make sure this guy signs on the dotted line. BMW, maybe Cohen makes him use his private jet. Well, with the money he's getting, he could probably buy his own jet, but knowing Cohen's jet, it's probably $1 billion jet. So yeah, why not? That's a good selling point. You could use my jet. So Robbie, as always, you make another good point. So say Yamamoto signs. If it's 12 years while developing this team with a good farm system for backups, there will be a dynasty. Patience. Yes, patience is always the key. But I personally don't have much patience. I'm not sure about everybody else here. Patience is usually the wise thing. But I'll tell you the reason why I don't have patience. I'll tell you the reason why. Number one, the obvious reason is the Mets haven't won in 86, right? Number two, okay, Steve Cohen bought the New York Mets a few years ago, and we were promised a new hope. We were promised new everything. In the last couple of years, what have become of us? We won 101 game, and last year was basically unacceptable, was disgusting. We had one of our worst seasons in the last 25, 30 years. So, I had patience. I lost it. I lost all my patience with the New York Mets. So right now, my expectation for the New York Mets is through the damn roof. I want the New York Mets to compete at a high level, and there's no more excuses. There's no more excuses with the New York Mets. It's unacceptable right now. Steve Cohen came in with all this ballyhoo and promise. Um, you know what? I'm gonna have to check on with you guys in a bit. I apologize. I'm gonna have to go. I'll talk to you guys very soon.